Kindy Rockstars. Prepare for a treat, let's meet and greet some bands and singers that are super sweet, making music that's fun for boys and girls. Help them learn about this great big world. Fun for the family, yes it's true, your kids will love it and you will too. Clap and dance and sing aloud, become a part of the Kindy crowd. These songs will make you move your feet and give your ears a great big treat. So settle in, grab your guitars, and let's get to know our Kindy rock stars. Hello everyone, and welcome to Kindy Rockstars. This is the show that gives you the stories behind the songs from some of the best bands and singers that are making fun, informative, educational, catchy, and occasionally silly songs for children and families. I'm your host, Patrick Adams, and each episode of Kindy Rockstars will feature an artist and a featured song. So let's get to this week's show. Special treat today. I'm joined by Genevieve and Andy from the virtual band Star Forest. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
Hey, glad to be here.
So tell me a little bit, not only about yourselves, but the genesis of this virtual band.
You want me to start, Andy?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been in kids content for a long time. I started out working at Warner Brothers and Hasbro and Wild Brain, and got to work on a lot of great kids shows like Yo Gabba Gabba, and produced a show called Tumbleleaf for Amazon, and loved creating kids content. Was working as a consultant in that arena, and my cousin Andy reached out to me and said, "Oh, I love what you're doing. Is there any way I can maybe write a song for one of these shows?" I was developing some of my own content. And he said, just to see if you like it. And I was blown away and said, "Where have you been all my life?" And because we actually, even though we're cousins, we didn't grow up together. Didn't know each other really at all as kids. So it was this bond that was instantly formed. And we started writing songs. And we did it here and there for different shows. But then when the lockdown happened, I was driving around with my kids in the car, and there was a lot of Kindy music for my younger son in the preschool toddler space. And I was having a really hard time finding some music specifically for my 6-year-old at the time. And everything I put on, it was either too baby or he considered it adult music. And I realized it in that moment that kids kind of jump at 5 from the Baby Shark stuff. And then they jump right into adult content, adult music. And Kids Bop kind of does that, right? They take the adult music and kidify it. But I couldn't find anything specifically geared to that like 5 to 8 group. So I reached out to Andy and I said, let's do a record for this demographic, right? So he thought about it. He's, I don't know. Let me think about it. And he thought about it. And I always knew Andy as this like cool rock star touring musician. And I thought, how perfect is that? Because these are what this age group is into, this more, adult out there, kind of funny, it's raining tacos. I love, Perry Grip and that kind of thing. And I wanted to do that, but a little different. And so Andy finally came to me and he said, you know what, let's do this. And we started Zooming. And that was how it started. We weren't even meeting in person. We started writing songs over Zoom. So Andy, you can take over how you felt about that.
That was like the whole story.
Yes.
No, yeah, like I started off by being a touring musician, and once I had kids, I kind of turned my focus to composing. So, Jenny's my cousin, and she kind of got me involved in the Georgia scene, and it was just a really great experience, and we're really happy with the results. So.
Yeah, so talk about the virtual band characters, because they each have their own sort of distinct look, personality, and I can see you're creating a very unique world with Star Forest, very much a gorillas for kids. So talk a little bit about how you conceive the characters.
Yeah, that's really well described. Go ahead, Jen.
Yeah, no, I mean, I put a lot of thought into what kids in this age group are watching and into and excited about. Um, my kids were playing Roblox and, wanted to play Fortnite like their friends. And I was looking at the kind of what the characters looked like. And so I hired a really cool character designer named Dusty Higgins. And we started kind of developing who these characters were. The interesting thing about Star Forest is while these are aspirational characters that kids can go, oh, that's cool, I want to be like that. The characters are starsonas, and that's what we call them. And so they are avatars of real little kids, the band members. So each band member, while they look 17, 18, 21 and cool and rock stars, they're actually outside of Star Forest, a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 5-year-old. And so when they go into Star Forest, that's who they become. And the whole thing behind Star Forest is you can be whatever you want to be in Star Forest. So eventually the goal is to have all these other kids create their own Star Forest, starsonas, avatars, and get into the world as well.
Gotcha. So do you want to introduce the characters
yeah, absolutely,
in the band?
Yeah. So we've had some fun with Hawk. His last name has changed a bunch of times. We had Hawk Frost was his name first, and then we realized there was another Hawk Frost in some obscure kids book. So now he's Hawken Velcro. So but it's spelled crow, Crow. So Velcro. And he's the lead singer, guitarist, and he's actually very much based on Andy. So it's easy when we do the characters, we feel, that it's a representation of ourselves. It's easier to perform and act it out. I'm Fawn Velvette, and she's kind of the partner to, the power, this power duo. She's a deer, and she plays all sorts of instruments, and she sings as best as she can. And then we've got Rocktapus VII, and he's the drummer, percussion. And then we've got Sluuth Marbles, who plays the bass. He's kind of a wild card in the band. He wants to play different instruments, but we've got him on the bass now. Yeah. So that's them.
It's funny. I think that we have a lot of what Jen is saying. We're thinking forwardly, as far as the way that things are going, as far as NFTs and technology and stuff. So. When she talks about character stuff, there's a lot of cool things in the making. So
it's we started out making a kids record, and it turned into creating a brand and what it could be, and how I think what really blew our minds is how there's so few live experiences, especially in music for 5 to 8. There's so much, the Wiggles and Disney and, Sesame Street and all these live shows you can go to. I realize what happens is parents, when their kids turn, when they're over that scene, they're ending up taking them to adult concerts, which, as we're seeing more and more, isn't safe, so it's not a safe place to be. And so we're trying to create a live experience in that age group. And obviously technology, games, animated characters, that's very much a part of their world and what they gravitate towards. So that's the goal, is to have these virtual band live shows.
Very cool. So how do you approach the songwriting? Is there specific topics, or is it all to do with kind of the world that you're creating with this band?
It is. The environment of Star Forest, anything can happen. It's constantly evolving, but we started thinking, we drew kind of a map of the world at first. And there's pirates in Star Forest. There's, this waterfall where, these mermaids live, which we haven't even got into yet. We've created the world first. And then it's really easy to think about what kids this age like, what they don't like, and that's how the songs were formed. And also messages that we want to get across, dream big, you can do anything. I think that's the biggest part of our message, is dreaming big. So there's a lot you can do with that. And we've been having fun with that.
So where would you like to see the band 5 years from now?
5 years from now, we have a series, we have content. We're doing animated music videos right now. and those will be releasing. And then after that, it's, maybe a show, a film, and definitely the biggest phase 3 has always been for me that the live component, the live shows with as much cool tech but also keeping it organic and having the characters able to interact with the kids and touch and feel and tactile and all these cool things that they don't get in the screens. Just staring at a screen. We want the concerts to be really interactive. So that's the goal. And I think we're going to do it. I know we're going to do it. I'm manifesting. And then if you want to, Andy didn't get to say much there.
Sorry. A bug flew down my throat.
Oh my God.
Like a little gnat or something.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. But anyway, I left when you guys were talking about songwriting. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're the most important part for you. He was asking like when we conceive the songs and
yeah, I just peace out when the songwriting.
we were talking about how, we kind of created the world first and then we came up with the songs about dreaming big and stuff. So where do you think as a songwriter, Andy, where do you feel we come up with the ideas, like, and how do we make them real, right?
Well, I mean, I think that the purest form of songwriting and like creation, at least like I feel is like just when you're having fun. And I think that like Star Forest is it's just a lot of fun. I mean, we're both grown-ups, but when we get to work on Star Forest, it's like not work,
Yeah,
so
I can see that.
Yeah,
we're both technically 10 anyway. I mean, we're kind of right in that demographic. So it's easy.
When you're making music for kids, you have free license to do that.
Yep.
So.
This is true. Yeah. And we have our own
it's like, when you're singing about things that you really haven't thought about for a long time, and
seeing our own kids react is we've got this built-in demographic, or this test audience,
Oh, I know. Yeah, my kids are like,
yeah.
My kids like listen to the album, and every time we get in the car, they want to hear the album, and I'm like, you want to listen to?
Yeah, it's so.
Well, that's good. They're a key demographic to making sure that the album's going to be a success. So.
Oh yeah. No, it's amazing to me like how perceptive the kids are, huh, Jen?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like they hear something that like you think is like really catchy, and they're like, oh yeah, that's really.
They also get the underlying messages sometimes that we've had some adults review the album, and I read the review and I'm like, they didn't get it.
Exactly.
And there'll be these little nuances, throughout that the kids get right away, and that's when we know we're doing our job. So it's been really fun to get some comments from kids in that age demographic, and they just got it and affirming, okay, let's keep doing this. We're doing something right. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Are you guys ready to get into a song?
We are.
Sure.
The song on today's episode is called Star Forest by Star Forest. So talk to me a little bit about this song and what inspired you to write it.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, like it was the first song that we came up with for Star Forest. And it was like during, obviously everything has been during the pandemic the last 2 years, but when the pandemic was like, what, about a year in, Jen, or something, a year and a half?
Wasn't even that.
No, it wasn't even that. Yeah, like a half a year.
Because I remember it was like we weren't even sure if we should even get together at all. It was probably.
I think it was actually about 3/4 of a year, like October of 20.
It was before that. When we first met, it was like June.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, we got together and we threw like some ideas together, man, and it just kind of like anything else, it just like, it all starts with like, okay, here's a starting point, and then do we like this? Do we love this? Do we're both like kind of, we have a lot of experience with like, actually doing art for like our career. So we basically kind of like are able to, we've had a lot more practice at sort of deciphering what we really think is cool to us. And so we just got right to it, and it took us about an hour and a half, and I think we have the theme, right, Jen, or something?
We did. And I remember, so he had kind of a rough idea, musically composed, and he played it for me. And it was really dreamy. And I went, wow, this is not what I expected, but what is this? And, with the synthesizers, and I went, oh, what is this sound? And
Yeah, it felt like a very lush sound when I listened to it.
it was. It's very, lush is a perfect word. And so we kind of started writing lyrics right there on the spot. And Star Forest was one of the things I said in the song. And he goes, that should be the name of the band. And I go,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're onto something. And of course, the first thing I do is there another Star Forest? And, is it trademarked?
Yeah.
And so we got it trademarked. That was a huge day. And, and it became a thing and not just an idea. And it was easy to go from there because we started building the world. But yeah, I'll never forget the day he said that, because that started it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was like a really productive day, man. We came up with the first song. We came up with the name.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, let's check out the song. Here is Star Forest by Star Forest. All right. Well, tell everyone where they can find that song and where they can find all the other songs by Star Forest.
Star Forest is available on most of the streaming platforms, all the big ones for sure. We have a website, starforest.rocks, and that's got all the links to all this, the album. And you can also find us on Instagram at Star Forest Rocks and Facebook. We've been updating our content a lot. We've got some cool stuff coming, and yeah, all the links are on our website. So check it out. It's a really cool website. I'm stoked about it. And we've got a new album coming next year. So lots coming.
Yeah, this year, actually.
Yeah, this year. This year. It's 2022.
Yeah.
How did that happen? We made it. We're still here.
Yeah, we're working on a new album. That's cool.
We are. We're really excited. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Genevieve, Andy, thank you so much for doing the show. This was a treat, and all of the best with Star Forest. This is a really unique and fun element in the kindy world.
Well, we're so happy.
Thanks a lot, Patrick.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you having us on.
All right. Take care.
Take care.